All right, ladies and gentlemen, and Saturn enthusiasts, of course. This is my 2001 Saturn LW200. It is a 2.2 liter, and something else kind of special I'll show you inside in a moment. But I'm just giving you a walkthrough so you can take a look. Of course, on the doors, there's no real dings given the great plastic, ingenious door panels that it has. So no dings on the doors. The wheels are nice and clean. They're all four there. I would say very minimal scuff, maybe on one or two wheels, not really too noticeable or nothing major. I did put new tires. They're waterfall brands, kind of like a no brand tire, of course, but it works, runs well. I have about 3,000 miles on those tires. So as you can see, the back is pretty much complete. There's no real dents or damage. The rear bumper does have some scratches, but that's kind of like from everyday, moving things in and out of the back as well. The top is nice and clean. There are two little tiny indentations from a rock that fell on it once upon a time. The antenna, of course, is also there. That one is the very hard to find antenna. If you lose it, you're out of luck mostly. But mine is there. So this side of the rear bumper, again, some minor scratches, and some paint is chipping a little bit right there on the hatch itself. What else? The taillights are good. I did tint it. The tint is, decent for me. May not be for everybody, but I'm okay with that tint. Anyhow, so this is what it is. 2001 Saturn LW200. Now I'll tell you a little bit about what I've done to it. This one, I did recently change the alternator in February of 2024. It just simply started going bad, and I swapped it for a new one. I did not have it rebuilt. I swapped it. It was going bad. If you want, I'll give you the bad one, and you can rebuild it if you like as well. As you can see here, the interior, the gray interior, not leather cloth, but the piece de resistance, as many people say, is just beneath the panel. Actually, let me show you this first. This is the armrest. Both hinges do work. It is the gray, matching gray to the car. So again, the piece de resistance, there it is, the stick itself, the 5-speed manual transmission. That makes this car all the better. So moving over here to the back seats, they're pretty much complete. The door panel is complete, no major damage. The window rolls up, the door lock works, everything works as well. As you can see, pretty much complete in the back seat here. And moving on here to the actual inside of the back, it does have the retractable, I don't know what you would call it, the shade, the cover. It is there. It's the original gray as well. The only thing that's different, you notice, is the cover right here. It is a tan color because I got it from a donor car. Mine was really in bad shape. It had a stain, and those side little latches wouldn't work. So I got this one, and I had to get rid of the other one. It was pretty bad. The driver's side of the door, the driver's side, the back door, you'll see that this is the bad part of the carpet, if anything. I forgot what was spilled. Actually, it was spilled before my time. But that was the bad part. Everything else, the fabric is great. There are no tears anywhere, and it looks really good, if I do say so myself. Now, coming into the driver's side, you'll notice that the seats are also in pretty good shape. Yes, this is a power seat, and it reclines, moves forward, up and down. But there you go. This is an aftermarket, obviously, stereo, 10 inches, traction control button, and the hazard is right there. So you guys can let those wheels spin freely whenever you're moving on in the gears. It does have over 213,000 miles, 213,350 as of right now, which is early May. But this thing runs very, very strong, and no real issues at all with the engine, if I do say so myself. So look at the seat. Again, it is complete. I have it in under seat covers, and that's how it is. Doors open and shut great, no problem there. No gaps at all to account for. Again, the wheels are in good shape. Tires are pretty much new. Headlights are fine, work great. The engine itself, let's see, what can I tell you? I've done a lot of work to the engine myself. Well, let me rephrase that. I've changed several parts to it. Things like the alternator. I've done the solenoids, the ignition coils. I did the ignition coils about 8,000 miles ago. The secondary air pump as well, about 8,000 miles ago. What else can I say? I've done quite a few things. Let me go down my list, actually. My apologies for not having this more ready. But So I got this car in 2016. It had roughly 165,000 miles on it. Since then, I've pretty much babied it to its current 213,000 miles. The biggest issue I had with it was about 15,000 miles ago, which was the rear main seal. The rear main seal was leaking, so I had it changed, and I was going to change the clutch as well. However, my mechanic did say that the clutch was pretty much like new, and you know, when you drive it, you'll see that the clutch is great. It shifts with no major issues, very smooth shifting. I also changed the fuel pump about, oh, sorry, this is the spare. The original spare tire, I did have to use it once. It may have, I don't know, 100 miles, maybe 200 miles on it, but it works just fine, no issues with that spare tire. So I did change the fuel pump, like I said, about 12,000 miles ago, and the cruise control works as well, but to be honest, about 70% of the time, sometimes it doesn't really engage as much. Like I said, I did change the ignition coils about 8,000 miles ago, secondary air pump at the same time. I did change the exhaust manifold around 8 to 10,000 miles ago as well. It was cracking, and it had some issues with that, so I changed that. Very hard to find, by the way, the exhaust manifold for a manual transmission. I also changed the fuel vapor canister that was replaced. I did buy the battery, I want to say 2 years ago from Costco. It's an interstate battery, runs great. And on the inside, as you saw, I did install an aftermarket stereo, 10-inch touchscreen stereo with Bluetooth, GPS, Wi-Fi, and Android Auto, which is what I wanted. I think it does work with iPhones. So that works. I did not get the rear camera to work. Maybe somebody with, I don't know, more savviness on stereos and cameras will get it going. I mean, my understanding level is about a 3 out of 10 for that. But anyhow, it's there. Like you saw, interior has no rips. The ceiling itself is in excellent shape. There's no sag. The air conditioner is ice cold. The heater works great as well. All electrical works as it should, of course. The power windows work fine. The master control buttons work fine, also no issues. I did change the side mirrors. They came from a donor car, as I'll show you in a moment. The side mirrors, I had one of mine break, but I replaced it with another one, and then I found this matching set at the donation yard, I'll call it. I did change the valve cover gaskets and grommets around 7,000 miles ago, so that works great. I also got an aftermarket keyless entry system. I have both remotes for that one. I have as I mentioned, the screen to cover the cargo, and then the cargo rack that you see here, I'll throw it in with the car if you want it. It has the original size 15-inch wheels. Right there, that picture, that's the only exterior issue that I have, a minor superficial scratch. It didn't indent or carve into the bumper very much, but you know, it's there. You know, I wasn't always perfect in driving that. It was raining, you know, to credit that. It was raining when I scraped a little bit of a wall once. Believe me, it hurt me more than I think it hurt the car, but anyhow. The cons are that it does have the wiper fluid light on. Even though the wiper fluid pump works and everything, I did change the sensor, but for some reason that light is still on. But it works fine, 100% works fine. You'll also notice that the check engine light is on. I was told that I'm having an issue with my catalytic converter, but I haven't changed it because there's no need to change it. You may or may not have noticed that this car is registered in Oregon, and Oregon they don't need to change, or they don't have to do smogs. Here in California they do, so that's why I still have it registered in Oregon, to avoid any smog issues, and that's that. So catalytic converter may have to be changed, but all in all, this is pretty much what you see is what you get. It's in great shape, and it'll make the trip pretty much to anywhere. I've driven it from Oregon to San Diego, actually just south of the border, Tijuana as well, Mexico. I've driven it to Las Vegas, Palm Springs, everywhere in between. So it has never let me down. All I do is change the oil, spark plugs, and we're good to go. As regarding the oil, as we know, some of these cars do burn oil. I do have to put, let's see, again, being completely transparent, I do have to put maybe a quart every, I don't know, I want to say 700 miles or so. Um, but that's it. There's no leaks that I have on it. It just burns the oil slightly. And that's it. I do have a K&N aftermarket air filter in there. That seems to work well for me. What else? So these are just some of the pictures. And like I said, if you are interested in seeing more of the things that I've done, I've taken pictures of pretty much all the work that I've done to it, and I have some video of that work as well. But it runs great, and I think it'll serve and work for another 200,000 miles maybe for the right person. So let me know what you think. Oh, and also I'm also going to comment that I do have some spare parts that I did pick up from the donation yard or salvage yard, right? Because I wanted to kind of pretty much future-proof this car, given obviously the scarcity in parts. But let me mention that up ahead on this video. Oh, these floor mats, they are the original Saturn floor mats. The driver's side, I did try to clean it out with the brush, and a lot has come out, a lot of dirt has come out. Maybe I'll try to clean it up some more. But I'm obviously keeping them because they are the original Saturn floor mats. They're only for the front. I don't have the rear Saturn floor mats. But these are in great shape. If you guys give them a good scrub, they will clean out just fine, I'm sure. Yes, I know that the driver's side one does look a little bit more, worse for wear, but it's not really stinky or anything bad like that. It's just has some stain, I guess, that can come out with some good old elbow grease. But as I was trying to say, I was trying to future-proof my car, and what I did is I got some parts from the salvage yard. So again, we're looking at the shifter, and works great if you ask me. It works excellent. So right here, these are some of the parts that I have. I have both mirrors, right, both side mirrors. If you want the original stereo, there it is. I have the original stereo. Another instrument cluster, which works fine. A third brake light, which is very valuable. This is the little ashtray that goes in the back. And of course, the computer. These run for over $500, I've seen. And so, this comes with the car. If you want it, it's yours. If you want it separate, let me know as well. I can sell it separate. You do see only one brake light there, but I do have both rear brake lights. I just had the other one stored and I didn't take it out to take the picture, but I do have both tail lights. I have both tail lights, and they will work for this car, of course, if you need it. I also do have a spare 15-inch wheel that is if you ask me, in excellent shape. It has no scuffs. I got it from a donation car, and it is matching to the car. So this would be the fifth wheel. I was going to use it for the spare. And this is another armrest that I have as well. This armrest, it is complete, but this hinge here on the left of your screen is the one that's broken. So one of the hinges engage as well. The other one does not. This is the donor car that gave us the parts. So there you go. So like I said, if you are interested in this vehicle, or this piece of history, as we call it, right? 2001 Saturn LW200, 2.2 5-speed manual transmission. It is available. I am taking offers right now. And like I said, I am in Los Angeles, California. It is here, and you can probably drive it anywhere in the country if you want. It should make it. Runs great. Have no reservations on the reliability of this car. It's been a daily driver for me for the past 8 years, and I'm sure the next person would greatly appreciate it as well. So let me know. My contact information is provided. So hopefully you get it if you want it. If not, thanks for looking, and take care.